Welcome back to the shop, guys. We got it. The Inventables X-Carve 1000mm CNC machine. This week on the channel, we're gonna put it together. Stick around. I'm Stoner Erickson from Erickson Design Company, and let's build something. Ta-da! Let's get started here by opening up some of these boxes. This is the spoil board, basically the base plate for the whole thing. I actually saved these pieces of cardboard because they're big flat pieces and I use them to paint. So I'm going to cut it up and hold on to these large flat ones. Then I'm going to make myself a little table out of sawhorses and some scrap plywood. That way I have everything on a table and I can lay it out. Opening up the rails, I realized that everything is packaged so well and I just got to get it organized so that I can start assembling it. I'll go ahead and pull everything out and lay it on the table so I can see exactly what I'm working with here. In anticipation of receiving my X-Carve, I built this cool flip-top table and dust cover, so I'm going to pull the top off and get ready to assemble. Now the instructions from Inventables is really comprehensive. I also had a video up on YouTube from Woodworking. It was the X-Carve Zero to Hero assembly video. I watched it like 3 times and that guy's awesome, so check it out. Putting 140 screws in the back of the spoil board was kind of tedious, but this was the start of the tediousness. So just take your time, make sure you're straight up and down on these. I'm going to slide some nut washers and screws on here. This is what's going to attach the spoil board to the rails. And the bottom rail slides over one of those nut washers from the back. Very simple here to just slide the screws right into their designated slots. Putting the corner brackets in was kind of tricky because my fingers are so fat and I felt like I used 1000 M5 by 8mm screws and it was really hard for me to hold on to. My hands were actually pretty sore after all this. Flip it over and then just tighten down the screws from the top. It's important to stay organized here. I'm going to assemble the sides and the stepper motors and I'm going to take the time to lay everything out and make sure I'm super organized so I don't lose any screws. The tools that Inventables provided worked really well. Putting this tiny bolt on the end of a screw underneath one of the roller wheels was proving to be impossible, but I think I was going a little fast and excited here, but I ended up getting it on. Getting my fat man hands in this tiny slot was so hard to put this last roller on. I wish my wife was home because she has little fingers, but that was one of the hardest parts for me. Greasing up the spindle access was kind of interesting. I put some gloves on, hoping to keep the grease off my hands, but it never ceased to amaze me that the rest of the time I had grease all over my hands. So that was kind of a pain. Here's another mistake that I made. I put the mount for the stepper motor for the carver on upside down, and later I had to flip it. So again, go slow, follow the instructions. It's not worth it to have to redo that at the very end. I'm going to attach the side rollers, and then I'm going to slide the Z-axis across the gantry. You can see how many times I'm checking the instructions. It's nice to have my laptop on the stand where it's going to live. It's starting to look like an X-Carve. I've been waiting for this thing since about 6 months ago when I added it to a cart, and then it took me 6 months to save the money and work hard to get it, so I am so excited to play with this thing. All of the videos that I watched said that attaching the belts and tensioning them was one of the hardest parts, but I found this very simple because of the YouTube video I was watching, and the instructions were pretty comprehensive. Okay, so this point I'm literally in it like almost 8 hours. Maybe 1,000 screws it feels like, and my brain is mush, but running all the wires was very simple, and I really wanted to just get as far as I could on the first day. Because I built my stand and my dust and sound enclosure without the X-Carve, I'm kind of having to free form here how I'm going to attach it, where I'm going to attach it, so that the cover works really well. And in the end, I figured it out. If you like fun and creative videos like this, hit that subscribe button. Do it now. Plus, if you want to support the channel, check out my store, Erickson Design Company /merch on Streamlabs. You get hats, t-shirts, stickers. Definitely check me out on Instagram. You get previews to all these projects, and it's a great way to stay in the loop. As I got to the end and wiring up the X-Carve, I've been doing this for like 9 hours and 1,000 little tiny screws. So I am super stoked to get something carved. Let me just say this, I've put together a lot of tools, and the X-Carve was easily complicated, and I'm grateful to have it almost finished. We are carving! Yeah, buddy, I am so stoked. This thing is so rad. Wow, the fine detail is so precise, really cool. And I actually have a baby monitor inside of the enclosure, so if I have to step away, I can still check out all the action. Top of the morning to you. What a crazy build. This did take me all day to build, so plan for that. And if you know someone who has little fingers, keep them around because there are a lot of little nuts and bolts and bits and bobs that's got to go on, and I have these big fat man paws. I'm so stoked because the Inventables community is very large. Their website, their footprint on YouTube, their software is called Easel. It's very easy to use. I actually am not a computer guy, and I've been able to carve some really cool things. So look for cool videos coming out on this. I'm still going to do videos where I use the jigsaw and all the other tools in the shop to show you how to use it if you don't have one of those. But if you're thinking about using one of these, definitely consider the X-Carve. It is by far my favorite. Looks like we got some dogs coming in and out. Anyway, if you like videos like this, like, subscribe, and share. Check out my other videos right here. And I'm Stoner Erickson from Erickson Design Company. And we built something. Ta-da!